Monday, May 1st, 2023, Maneco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So have we got a new gold rush on our hands in California, the Golden State? Well, that's what we're going to look at today. Before we do, just wanted to let you know how Rudy's doing. Here he is. Yes, he's very fluffy. We did give him like a dry bath yesterday, but he will be groomed later on this week. And he's had his breakfast. He's got some new dog food called Butternut Box. He really likes it. He had the salmon one today. And this is not an endorsement, I'm just telling you what he eats. And now I'm going to put him back outside because he's a little bit restless today. So back to California and the gold rush. Before we go into a story that I saw on Zero Hedge, I'm going to recommend a book. And I read this many years ago. And it's called The Age of Gold by H.W. Brands. The story of an obsession that swept the world. So this is all about the California gold rush. So it says here, the discovery of gold in California in 1848 sparked a frenzy that shook the world. People swarmed to the gold fields from as far as China and Australia. They came from England and Ireland, from Africa and Argentina, leaving behind their families and everything they owned in the hope of making their fortunes in the New World. They came by ship and overland, braving Tierra del Fuego and the pestilence of Panama, lured by the promise of gold. So there you go. It's a great book. I might read it again. It's got pictures as well in it, photos. Highly recommend if you're into history, if you're into gold. But it's not just about gold, it's about what humans will do when there's gold around. And California gold rush of the 21st century. Are we going to see hundreds of thousands of people come from abroad or even from within the United States to California? Well, I think we're already doing it, but it's slightly different, of course. But I would say the fact that gold is becoming perceived to be becoming more valuable, and I say that because it's the U.S. dollar and all fiat currencies that are losing their value. Gold becomes more attractive. So we're gonna look at this story. It's in the epochtimes.com, and it says new California gold rush coming as record snowpack melts. Tourists are seen panning during a tour with a California gold panning. They have gold panning clubs. And just before we go into the article, just wanted to show you my my gold pen. It's a Garrett gravity trap gold pen. And you might be asking, why have you got one of those? Well, about 11 years ago, I went to Northwest Wales. There's someone running kind of like a club. And yeah, in a place called Dogelith. You spell it like Dogalau. I'll put it on the screen on the map. Yes, we went panning on a farm. And the guy who organized it, he knew the farmer, so he allowed us to go into the river and pan. We were there for 4 hours or 5 hours. It was tiring. It was really fun. And I've got here the little flakes that I found from that 4 hours of gold panning. So you can see that it's not easy, but it's a nice experience. So let's continue here. It says, gold isn't raining from the sky in California, but it might be flooding into the rivers by summer. Nugget Nick Pribalik expects the record snowpack in Northern California to deposit even more gold in Woods Creek in Tullamoon County, where he shares a claim with his father and son near Jamestown. The family has been offering tours to those who want to experience gold mining and learn about the history of the gold rush in the state. I'm already finding more gold, Probalik told the Epoch Times. I've been finding gold every tour. The Probaliks, who own California Gold Panning, usually find about an ounce of gold a day when they take guests to pan for nuggets on their claim. The most he and his father have found was 127 ounces in one day. That's a lot, 127 ounces, as you know. As this year's snow melts from the Sierra Nevada and other mountains, the runoff will wash away silt and deposit more gold in rivers and streams, prompting some to predict a modern-day gold rush this summer. California's first gold rush in 1848 brought fortune seekers from all over the world. More than 300,000 came to the territory, and gold was worth $20.67 per ounce, and it was still worth that in 1933, according to the National Museum of American History. So yeah, California was a territory in 1848. It only became a state a couple of years later in 1850. I think this summer I'm going to be swamped, he said. We'll probably be getting 10 groups a day. Mark Keene, who owns the mining equipment company Keene Engineering in Chatsworth, about 30 miles northwest of the city of Los Angeles, with his brother, told the Epoch Times he also anticipates a big increase in gold mining activities when the snow starts to melt. And here's the interesting quote. In my lifetime, I don't remember this much snowpack in the mountains, Keene said, adding that he expects to see a super flood. Keene sells gold pans, sluice boxes, and other tools used by amateurs and professionals. So there you go. I'm going to stop at that. There's some interesting photos here. And one thing that Keene says, and I quote, "It's not always about the gold. It's about the journey and the adventure of it too." So yeah, it's fun, and you might find a little bit of gold. And especially with the price where it is, it might be even worth, and it might even pay for your trip or even more. So there you go. There's a picture of a pan full of gold there. And apparently you can join one of these clubs, and they'll teach you how to pan for gold. So that's quite interesting. So I'm going to put a link to this article below in the description. So yeah, this gold pan, as I said, it's a Garrett's gravity trap. So what happens is you pan the material with the water, and the gold gets caught in these gravity traps, and the lighter material comes off the pan. Yeah, you know, it's not, someone has to teach you how to do it. I haven't done it in a long time. Maybe I'll go up to Wales again sometime this summer. It could be fun. And especially with the prices going up, it makes it even more interesting. But again, it's the experience. But who knows? With what's going on in the economy, with what's going on with the banks, especially the small and mid-sized banks that finance a good chunk of the American economy, we could see people doing more and more of this kind of activity. So it's much easier to go mining for gold than mining for Bitcoin, I would say, and it's a lot more fun. So there you go, the California gold rush. So let's quickly look at the markets this morning. And before we look at the markets, so what's going on with First Republic Bank, which is a California bank? Well, it says here, First Republic news in the FT. JP Morgan, Citizens, and PNC submit bids for First Republic. U.S. regulators negotiating to sell all or part of struggling California bank before it opens for business today. It will be also interesting to see if these people or these institutions that are bidding for this failed bank will get help from the Fed and the Treasury. Keep an eye on that. That's very important, I think. And my feeling is that they will. And the more people realize that the Fed and the Treasury are going to keep pumping things up to not let it collapse completely, the more people realize they need to get out of the system, maybe do some gold penny, or more seriously, actually take their savings out of the system and think about getting some physical gold and silver. There you go. So it's 8:35 a.m. London time. So we got spot gold at 1980. So yes, last week on Friday, I think gold closed around 1990. That's the highest monthly close ever. And just look at this chart. I think gold is breaking out. Yes, it feels a bit frustrating right now, but gold isn't really breaking out. It's the dollar that's going south, I would say. Anyway, we've got spot silver up about 7 cents at 25.11. High's been 21 and the low 90. For gold, the high overnight has been 1992 and the low has been 1978. To the stock market, we got the Dow unchanged. The NASDAQ 100 futures is up 15 and the S&P is up a point. So it looks like the Fed, the Treasury, the regulators, as they call it, have things under control for now. We'll have to wait and see when the market opens in earnest. This is just the pre-market. So we got sterling to the currencies now. Sterling is down 0.2%, 125.40. The euro is down about 0.2 as well, trading right around 110 to the dollar. The dollar is up 1/3% versus the yen, 136.80. And the dollar is up 1/4% at 694.50 versus the yuan, Chinese yuan. The dollar is down almost 2% versus the ruble. So dollar is below 80 now. I think it was around 82 a week or two ago. Now it's at 78.13. So dollar coming off versus the ruble. To the other currencies, the Aussie dollar is up 0.4 at 66.42. The dollar is unchanged versus the Canadian dollar, 135.50. And the Kiwi dollar is unchanged as well at 61.84. Let's check out the commodities. We got WTI crude down 1.5%, well, 1.2%, excuse me, at 75.78. Brent crude is down 1% at 79.50. Platinum is down $7, trading at 1,070. And high-grade copper is down 1/4% at 388. So high-grade copper needs to go back above 4. Right now it's, of course, come back below 4. We're going to finish off and quickly look at the bond market, U.S. Treasury bond market. The gilt market today is closed. It's a holiday here in the UK. The 2-year yield is at 4.06. It's unchanged. The 10-year is at 3.46. It's up 1 basis point. So yeah, we're going to get the Fed decision, FOMC, on Wednesday. Their meeting starts tomorrow and they announce the decision on Wednesday. I think they're going to raise rates by 1/4%. And the important thing there will be to see what they say about the future prospects for the economy and whether they say something about raising rates in the future. Some people expect him to raise rates twice. Some people have commented on this prank interview that Jay Powell supposedly gave to someone that was supposedly working for Ukraine. I'm not sure I buy into that, but who knows? Things can change as well. Jay Powell might have said something in that prank interview, but yeah, it's not set in stone. So with that, I'm going to wish you all a very good day. Take care. Bye.